What's up, everybody? On today's show, we talk about how to market for client retention. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Kendol Mason, and today we're going to discuss 3 ways to market for client retention. Now, when we're talking about client retention, which is differently from a client retainer, client retention is actually where we actually could provide service and offerings to our client to help add as much value as possible to them so that they'll stay with us versus leaving and going to our competitor. And as we know, in these times, we can pretty much use all the help that we can get. Avoid losing clients by having a rolling calendar of communication. This means that having a pre-planned schedule that you can actually use to market to your clients. Put everything on a calendar, so therefore you can have a systematic way of actually reaching out to your clients. By putting everything in a calendar and having everything preset, it makes everything easier for you to keep track of what's happening, such as birthdays, holidays, follow-ups from things that you've done recently, whether you've just done an initial sale, pre-sale, during the sale, after the sale. And by having everything positioned into a calendar, it's a lot easier for you to make sure that that conversation keeps going and the conversation keeps happening with your customer. Send letters, thank yous, follow-ups, a phone call. Just reach out to your customer. Reach out to them, tell them that you appreciate what they've done and appreciate everything that they've ever done for you, and ask if there's anything that you can do for them that'll help them within their business. You can even set these up to go out automatically, therefore you don't have to monitor it every single time a birthday comes up or a holiday comes up. You can actually set up an automatic system using something like e-cards in order to set it up, so therefore it goes out automatically and they feel remembered, and you don't have to fumble through trying to remember everybody's birthday or who just had a puppy or a new child or bought a new home. Make them feel valued and important, acknowledged and appreciated. Even just a simple thank you would help, or calling them up and saying, hey, I really appreciate what you did for me last week regarding that deal and giving me more time on that project. I really appreciate that, and I thank you very, very much. Even a huge shout out, even doing it in an email, saying congratulations, or giving them a thank you. That'd be pretty nice. I'd enjoy that. Number 2 is to be a proactive support. Be your customer's biggest cheerleader. Like, be there for them 100% and let them know that whatever they're doing, whatever they're aspiring toward, that they're not doing that alone. I know that everyone feels like they have to do everything themselves. I meet a lot of people that feel like they have to do everything themselves. And when they're doing it, it can seem really, really tough and really, really agitated, because doing stuff by yourself, let's face it, it can be hard and really, really challenging. But anything great that's ever been done has never been done in a silo. Not even with athletes. They always had trainers and managers and promoters. And it was a team of people that were working with them in order to make the whole ship move. This is something that your client will appreciate as well. It's kind of like they're having you in their pocket as like a secret weapon.
You're the wizard. You're a fireball throwing wizard. You're a hero. And you look great.
That they can go ahead and pull out and use whenever they need to get an edge or a jump in the competition. And that would be a huge perk to have, especially if you are someone within the creative field or the marketing field, knowing that they can rely on you as an asset to bring the full-on arsenal and the full-on weaponry in order to make things happen. Talk business outcomes. When talking business outcomes, get an idea of what the big picture, what's the big picture that the client is really trying to achieve? What's the outcome that they really want? Are they simply trying to gain new followers? Are they trying to gain new business in their door? Do they already have established clients and they're simply trying to maintain the relationship with these clients and making sure those relationships are still strong? When you define the outcome, you're actually able to reverse engineer and strategically come up with the strategies and tactics that will support that overall outcome. When you have a clear strategy, you're actually able to come up with clear tactics and elements to support that strategy for your client, as long as you understand the big picture. So even when things change in the market or certain conditions take effect in the industry, then you'll be able to react accordingly, making sure the outcome can be fulfilled and making sure that you can actually navigate everything that's happening in the industry. You'll also be able to offer services and products as solutions as you're helping them navigate and get there. So rather than simply trying to sell just a product or just a service, what we're really doing is we're actually selling a solution to a problem. So once we understand the big problem that you're having, or the big problem that they're having, then you'll be able to go ahead and drive these strategies and these tactics and all the design elements and tools in order to help measure and progress toward everything that's happening and everything that's really going on. You'll also be able to offer services, tactics, and solutions in order to help them navigate toward the course of actually getting to that specific outcome. Now, that's something obviously that we would all want to go ahead and do and make sure that the client is getting exactly what it is that they need as things are constantly changing. And number 3, givers gain. You've probably heard that once before. I'll say it again. Givers gain. Let me ask you a question. Why do you love your parents? It's simple. Well, because they love you first. When you love someone unconditionally, you're able to give. And when you give, you feel loved, you feel valued, especially when you give from the heart, or you give a place where you're not expecting anything in return. Have you ever noticed that when someone's calling you, you can hear it in their voice when they are say, "Hey, this is Kendall. Give me a call when you get the chance, please." So you can hear that in the voice that, yeah, this person's trying to get something from you.
You want this, don't you?
And what happens when you do that? When you hear that, at least, simple. You clutch, you resist, you push them away. You're like, okay, I can hear it in your voice. You clearly want something from me. So when we say givers gain, it's about giving as much as you can. In fact, give more than anybody would ever expect of you. And then by sheer reciprocity, it'll come back. Now, it may not come back immediately. In fact, it probably won't come back immediately, but eventually it will come back and it will serve good for the greater whole of your mission. In a world where you feel you might not have enough, you have more to give than you realize. Also, if you really want to understand your customer, do a complete audit on them. Understand every single thing about the customer, their challenges, their obstacles, the opportunities, the customer, the industry, the trends. By understanding these things that are going on in the marketplace, you're actually able to understand problems that may come up and opportunities that are there, and you can preempt them with your customer. By preempting them with your customer, you can say, "Hey, I noticed that here in the fall, we actually have a few events that are coming up in your industry that are going to be pretty big. Maybe some things that are happening, some festivals that are happening in the city. We can plan out how to take advantage of the opportunity. And therefore, you can actually have a logical reason to justify your solutions within your company, asking your customer to implement. By taking that initiative, actually understand what's going on, you've actually saved your customer tons of time, because then now they don't have to spend time figuring out what's going to happen in the industry, how can we make more money, or how can we market, because you've already done a lot of the research for them. By auditing the company, you can do a full out report on how to justify everything that you want to present to them, and making sure that everything that you have to offer will be hugely valuable to the customer. Make sure you do a full out proposal, giving them every single detail. Don't just copy and paste. Make sure that they have everything they need, and do a custom built proposal so they feel like they're individualized and that they're special and that you actually care about them and they're just not another crab in the bucket.
Oh, boo-hoo! Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin.
That's That's it, guys, for today's show. Thank you for watching in. I really appreciate it. I know that it's been a couple of weeks since we had something out, but we're definitely going to go ahead and get things back on track. We've been doing a lot of testing and doing a lot of filming to get things just right to figure out exactly what it is that you would need. So thank you for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. And once again, my name is Kendol Mason, your host, and I love having you guys around. Thanks for watching the show, and we will definitely see you guys again soon. The cleaner. The cleaner is the person that actually takes responsibility for the decisions that he's made and for any mistakes that he's made along the way. So the cleaner never makes excuses. Tim S. Grover has actually coached Kobe Bryant. He's coached Michael Jordan, which was the guy that he talks about a lot if you're into basketball. What he talks about regarding Michael Jordan is very interesting. He says that Michael Jordan was basically like a class act. Like, he would spend hours and hours with Tim just working on a single shot. From early in the morning until late in the evening, they would spend hours just working together.